sometimes the front of your food, the label that's really big on the front, can be really misleading. What we should actually be looking at is the back. So here's a really good example. This is Smucker's Simply Fruit. So the biggest thing on there is Simply Fruit, making you think the only thing in here is fruit. But if we look at the back in the ingredient list, so remember, when we look at the ingredient list on the back, they have to list in the order of quantity. So the first one listed is what is the most in here. So if we look at the ingredient list, we have fruit syrup, Concord grape juice, Concord grape puree, lemon juice concentrate, fruit pectin. So another thing to look at is that it has 9 grams of added sugar. So added sugar by definition is something that is put into the food to make it sweeter. So it's an outside ingredient, not coming from the core ingredients of the food or the core food. So it's an outside added thing. So how can it be Simply Fruit, have 9 grams of added sugars, and then the first ingredient, the most in all of this is fruit syrup? So unless right off the top of your head you know what Smucker's actually does to make fruit syrup, it seems like they're kind of beating around the bush a little bit, not wanting to say what's in their fruit syrup. So they're kind of going around like that. Another thing that you can compare this to, you might be like, well, maybe they are just using fruit. Maybe they are. And that's how they're saying that they're adding the sweetness from other fruit. But I encourage you to think about that a little bit. Another example of one that does not have is, so I have a bag of frozen mango chunks. And this one on the back right there, it says 0 grams of added sugar. So if you're just buying a fruit, it's going to say 0 grams of added sugar. So it's a little deceiving that this says Simply Fruit on the front, but on the back it has 9 grams of added sugar in 1 tablespoon. So unless you're getting out on 1 slice of bread and measuring out 1 tablespoon, you might be eating way more than 9 grams of added sugar, even though they want you to think you're simply eating fruit. So next time you go to buy something that is in a jar, a package, etc., make sure that, remember, you're looking at the back, you're shooting for 0 added sugars, and you want the first ingredient on the ingredient list to really be what you were looking for when you bought the food.